Hello and welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to see whether or not the cows prefer chopped apples versus pulped apples. So chopped apples, basically a spud with a knife just chopped up into small-ish pieces to prevent choking hazards. And then obviously we have a pulper, and we're going to try and pulp some spuds as well and see how they come out. So for those who don't know, we do have a very old pulper, and there's two videos of me using that pulper already on the YouTube channel, one from last year and one from this year, all about pulping apples. So if you don't know, we have an old apple tree on our farmyard. It grows somewhat good apples. They are edible for human consumption, but they're not big apples, and they're probably not going to be as sweet or juicy as we probably would like an apple to be. And they do tend, most of them, to fall on the ground. So we just go around, and this usually happens every 3rd to the last week of October. So we just pick up the apples, we put them into a bucket or a wheelbarrow or a bag and pulp them and give them to the cows. I'm going to try a same situation here, but with spuds instead. So I'm dedicating this bag here for pulping, because there's just a little bit more spuds in this bag than there is in that bag. So this bag is for pulping, this bag is for chopping. And you can see they're relatively nice big spuds. Here, these ones might be a load of smaller ones rather than several big ones, but there still is way more spuds, no matter if they're smaller, in this bag than there is in that bag. So we'll get some form of chopping board, maybe a lid off a bucket. We'll get to chopping these, and we will give them to the cows, and then we'll also pulp these ones and feed them to the cows as well, and see which ones they prefer, I guess. And I want to see how the spuds come out as well, pulped, because I've pulped apples, as I mentioned, but I've never pulped spuds, so I want to see how they come out. It might come out horribly wrong, but we'll find out. And there we go, we have a couple of spuds there chopped. As you can see, there isn't a whole pile in this bucket. Usually if I was to chop the two bags up, so that bag and this bag, there'd be a lot more in it. But there you go, you can see that they're the chopped spuds there, into manageable, hopefully non-chokeable sizes as well. Usually it's in and around these sizes we do chop them up anyways for the cows. So, and it's the cows that this will be going to, not the black cow that's due to calf in the coming weeks. We'll just give them to the cows that have the calves. So yeah, we'll give them this and see how they get on with it. Well, they weren't too long scoffing that up. Not much chopped spuds. Not much chopped spuds left behind there. They weren't too long. So yeah, obviously they'd take it that little bit longer if there was a little bit more in it. But we'll pulp up the other bag of spuds and see how well they scoff them down. There we go, there's the pulped apples, as you can see. Not the apples, the pulped potatoes, the pulped spuds. So, similar to the way it pulps the apples, of course. They look like they're more chopped as well. There's a few bigger lumps in there, like that, and this. But there's also a few smaller lumps in there as well, so there's a mixture, as if I chopped them, some of them big and some of them really small. But yeah, pulped potatoes. Feed them to the cattle and see how they get on with them. Yeah. Get back. Licked up. They seem to have like them pulped as well as chopped. It's unfortunate now you can't ask them whether they liked them chopped or pulped, whether they preferred them chopped or pulped. But I think it made no difference. They ate them anyways. Obviously the two sides have their ups and downs. When you chop them, you mightn't be able to chop them as thin or as small, because you're obviously watching your fingers that you don't cut them with the knife. But when they're pulped, any sort of dirt or dust that's lying on the spuds is being mixed in to the spuds when they are pulped, unless you wash them beforehand, which is probably what I should have done, but didn't even thought of it at that point. But it didn't really matter, they're still licked them up. But yeah, that's that. They ate the spuds that was chopped, and they ate the spuds that was pulped. Usually now we just use our knife and chop up the two bags, or whatever many bags needed chopping. That's what we'd usually do. But yeah, I just said might as well see what they're like pulped and how they eat them when they're pulped. Maybe less of a choking hazard, but you know, when we looked at them when they were pulped, it looked like some pulped bits were fairly big, but they were like as if they were sliced thin, if you know what I mean. I only sliced them into a full spud into maybe a smaller chunk, to lower that risk of choking and all that not fun stuff. But yeah, they seem to be happy out, as you can see. But yeah, I'd like to know down in the comments, what do you feed your cattle spuds or any of the likes of that? And do you chop them or pulp them, or what way do you feed them to your cows? Whether you feed them spuds, apples, beetroot, whatever you do, chop them, pulp them, let me know in the comments, because I'd like to know as well. Obviously some people might say feeding them the likes of apples or potatoes might cause bloating issues in them, and in some cases yes it does, but only if they eat a load of them. So if we were feeding them apples or maybe even potatoes, maybe half a bucket to a bucket full every single day for a long time, then maybe they'll start developing bloating issues. But for like the 1 week that we were pulping the apples, because there was enough apples there to keep them going for a week, probably wouldn't do them much harm. They're still here, they're still going, they're still lively, and obviously the spuds that would only do them a day. But yeah, they're happy out. They ate them. The floor is clean, as you can see. So there we go, and I guess that is going to be the end of today's video. It's probably been a short video, I know, but anyways, yeah, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment what you do, what you feed your cattle other than silage and meal, and whether you chop them or pulp them or what you do. Let me know that down in the comments as well. So yeah, I guess thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to check out my merch. The link to that will be down in the description, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Take care.